Ahí estamos.
What's good? What's good? Peace. Hey, I had to lay down a little bit, man. Just got back from the farm. So, what's good? Honest Bagley in the building. I'm laying down, man. I would be out, man, but I'm tired. Came back from Barranco Blanco, and I'm beat. But I almost forgot. I was gonna go live on on the natural disaster and stuff like that. And I just was scrolling, and I forgot I put that out there. So I was like, man, let me go live, or else they're gonna be like I'm fronting. So I want to say what's up to everybody in the building. Honest Bagley, we waiting on you. Honest is coming out here with Young Magic. They're gonna be doing some they music. I'm still trying to get Young Magic, trying to download it to my phone, man, but it ain't happening. So honest, I apologize for that. Let Young Magic know. Angel Rivera, what's up? Swazette, Carlos, Daphne, Nicole Campbell, Summer Solstice, Makiba, Muhammad. Nah, you don't need a dual citizen, man. You don't need any of that. If you ain't planning on going back, they don't even bother you anymore with it. Only like only if you're trying to travel somewhere else. Well, probably only to the United States. They didn't want you to pay some type of a little fine. But nah, you don't need that, man. Don't worry about that. Brent Campbell, September 8th. All right. Ken Sharp. So you're just, we're going to talk about this natural disaster thing. Everybody, is crying about, but we've been saying this for the longest. If anybody, if you go back in my timeline, hold up, I got Irie in the building too. Hold up, I can't forget about Irie, man. Irie.
Hey, what's up?
Got Irie up in here, what can I say? So we're gonna go into this natural disaster, and everybody we always knew when there's any type of planetary alignment, right? The one when the 9 planets aligned or the 8 planets aligned was in 2012, and that was the worst year for disasters, of natural disasters as they call it. Go ahead and Google it up and look at 2012 natural disaster. They'll let you know it was the worst year on natural disasters. And you had 8 planets, am I right, that was aligned. And this happens it doesn't happen often, but this is our clock, right? When we look at astrology, that's our true clock. When you have certain when you have Orion star constellation that goes and it circles like a clock, and then when it gets to this point, it goes down, right? And then they call that the underworld, right? And then it comes back up, right? And when it's right above your head, right, it takes a certain period for that to happen, a few thousand years, right, as they say. But when you have this alignment that happens, it lines up, and because the Earth is on the 23rd degree axis, right, and it wobbles, right? So when this alignment happens, right, all the planets are getting in a straight line, or not in a straight line, but they're getting pretty close. And so the gravitational pull of the sun, right, starts pulling on the Earth, right? So that gravitational pull of the Earth, right, has the plates shift, and you have weather that, when you have hot and cold air hitting each other real rapidly, it starts forming all these hurricanes, and plus we have the ice caps are melting due to the contraction of the universe. That's when the planet starts rotating closer to the sun, and it gets hotter. They call it the sun cycle, right? So we moved into the sun cycle. You could call it a new age, the Aquarian age, and people call it the age of information. This is when the ether starts taking its form, right? So we just had one planet, right? Well, not even a planet. We had one satellite, as you want to call it, the moon. lined up with the sun, and it covered it. And we can't even call it. I can't even say the Earth. I can't even say it was 3 planets because in astrology they don't even count the Earth as a planet. They count the moon. But that's kind of weird, right? Because everybody, you count the moon as a planet, but you don't count the Earth as a planet. So if we were to count, that's where you get your 13th planet from. I don't know, but let's keep it moving, right? We know that when the planets align, and this was only the moon, right? And with that little pull, look what happened. And then you're going to have this is going to keep happening up until 2020 or 21. The next alignment, I think it's about like 4 or 5 planets are going to align. And we're supposed to actually be ready and in tune, because when these planets line up, you have energy or consciousness that comes into this realm via the sun. So you have a vacuum on the other end of the sun, right? That it pulls in all the ether. It sucks it in, and it beams it down here. And this conscious energy, this thought, which is consciousness, we receive that. It's supposed to, we pull that in electromagnetically. So we pulling in this consciousness. You can call it what they call it. Actually, is a pure form of thought, because it's not bouncing off of any of the other planets. So when these alignments happen, it's like a grace period for us. It's for us to get in tune, because that is what we are. You follow me? And we're supposed to be in tune with that. So when this ether, dark matter, dark energy, right, gets sucked into the vacuum, right, and the sun converts this energy, it hits the equator. So this consciousness is is more amplified at the equator, and even with the food that you eat. The food that you eat, because it's getting the rays from the sun through the process of photosynthesis, even the fruit, and the food that grows from the earth, excuse me, right? Even that is more amplified. So that consciousness is more amplified. So, yes, we're supposed to be eating where we can actually, where we can receive this energy. So we have to be in a much lighter state. So when this does happen, right, and we're at the equator, or what you call at the tropics, the ancient Egyptians even knew this, because that's why they had the pyramids lined up with the Orion star constellation. Because they knew that when this point lines up, or when this constellation is right above your head, and it beams straight down, right, and it hits your prism, and you break it up into different frequencies of vibration, right? You follow me? And then you have, you have your kundalini, and you have the different vibrations. And actually, what's happening on the outside, because this is a holographic universe, so if the planets are lining up, so are your chakras are lining up as well. So it's all fractal. And so you're allowing yourself to raise up above certain debilitations in your chart, because the planets are lined up. We have debilitation. Some of us have debilitation in our astrological chart energy due to your previous life, right? Or when you was in the mother's womb, as you call it. And so while I was going through those months where some debilitations might have happened, the way light bends into your nervous system, the way it was wired, and you might not perceive things how somebody else might see it. Like, we could be looking at the same thing, and you might be able to see something different. Like, oh, I didn't get that out of that. I got this like this. Or somebody interprets. You know how you have a dream and you interpret your dream, and you're like, yeah, I think this was so and so, and because I had this, and you have this other person who's like, no, you know what that meant? That meant this and this and this and that, and it makes a whole bunch of sense because they were able to interpret that differently, and you like, yeah, and then you wonder why you couldn't get that out of it. Why I didn't see it that way? That's because we have different energies, and people at one time we used to we used to have intercourse, sex, to give birth to gods with the right energy. We used to know this stuff. We used to know, no, this ain't the time to reproduce. We got to reproduce during this month, so the baby can have this energy, or the child, could come out with this certain energy, so forth and so forth. You follow me? Because we were supposed to be responsible for this planet. We actually responsible. That's why the Earth is tilted on a 23rd degree axis, because there was an accident that happened a while back ago, way back. The ancient Sumerians tells the story best. If you have a Caucasian guy, Zachariah Stitchin, who explains the ancient Sumerians and so forth, and how they was the first one to write. Actually, they were the first one to come up with writing in cuneiform. It's a cuneiform, and they was the first one to write down astrology as well. Yeah, y'all can look that up. A lot of people don't even talk about it. Why, I don't know, but it was all in the Mesopotamian area. So where was I, right? So they were the first one to write writing. They wrote astrology down as well, and they had all of these in these cuneiform tablets, the Enuma Elish and so forth, the Gilgamesh, and they had this all written down. Prior to them writing this down, they used to tell it mouth to ear. That's how the sacred information was passed down, mouth to ear. They didn't write it down. Or the stuff they did write down, the stuff they kept sacred, they didn't put it down. They held it somewhere else, locked away. You had guardians over this information. And so when you look at astrology, which is how you're set up, it all boils down, and it all goes back to, if I'm going offline here, but you know what? I think this is important information right here. It all goes back to your subconscious mind. This is the whole thing about everything, is you being aware of your subconscious mind and how it works, and how you can actually write down, or you can write your own reality down by getting by tapping into your subconscious mind. The Dogon tribe, yes, too. The Dogon tribe, they knew about the Sirius A and Sirius B stars. When they crisscross, a certain energy was beamed down to this planet, certain consciousness, and that's how they were taught too about astrology, and they got extra information from this energy, or beings that they say come from another star constellation and so forth. And that's how they learned. The Dogon tribe, that's how they got their information. I mean, they knew about the Sirius A and Sirius B stars, and they didn't even have telescopes. And we're talking about this is years. We're talking about 1,000 years ago, and they knew this information, and they still wondering how these melanated beings knew about Sirius A and Sirius B, right? And how they crisscross every 60 years, I think, and it beams down consciousness. And again, the consciousness comes in through the equator, through the tropics. That's why the pyramids, the Egyptians built the pyramids in the tropics, right, connected to the Orion star constellation, because they knew these natural disasters will happen every time these planets align up, and we supposed to be at a certain location in our mind, right? Because we're projecting our mind, and so you on this planet, which is a mind, right? And we try to get to the center of the mind. So the equator is right in the middle. And that's what we're supposed to be moving more to. If you too much to the north or too much to the south, you're too much to the left side of the brain, or you're too much to the left side of the brain. And the same thing goes with the planet. So you're in your mind right now in a certain location, And we're trying to get to the center because that's where the information is going to beam down through the consciousness that's going to wake us up, that's going to wake up our ancient DNA genes that knows all. And we put the mask of God on. And when you do that, you get in control of your subconscious mind, which is your heart. The heart is the cell, right? The heart is the nucleus of the cell, the nucleus of the body, right? And the nucleus holds the DNA. Not only that, the heart is the first organ that's formed, right? And the rest of them extends out from the heart. That's why the heart receives more information and sends more information to the brain than the brain does anywhere else. So actually, it's your subconscious mind, which is your heart, that extends 15 to 20 feet. You call it an aura. And in this aura, right, they have that dot, that positive, negative charge, that light that's in every cell. And that's what you have to know how to pull in. Is inward. And by focusing, an intense focus, we able to accomplish this. Now I'm gonna hit you with something. Right? I didn't want to put this information out because we got a lot of people in Babylon. They get this information and all they're gonna do is learn how to use it for Babylon. So I wasn't even sure. I was like, yo, should I say this information, man? Because we have everybody in Babylon. They should be, what they should. Well, I shouldn't even say that. What they should be, right? And this information in Babylon, and they're gonna start, using it in Babylon to keep Babylon, going. Because once you get the control of once you know how to tap into your subconscious mind, you can actually, you can write down you write down what you want to happen in your reality, and it has no choice but to attract it to you. However, if you're not eating correctly, and I'm still working on what I eat as well. I know salt ain't we really ain't supposed to be using salt. Salt is like an explosive and shit. It's a soft metal, right? And we shouldn't even be putting soft metals in our body because it sucks up all the water, out your system and shit. So, and it holds a weight. So we shouldn't even be using salt. So all your health guys that you shouldn't even put salt in that food. You should be eating fruit. And I'm trans. I'm still eating rice and beans still. So I can't really talk shit. I don't like talking shit when I'm still eating rice and beans here and there. But I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress. Right? I ain't gonna sit there and lie. And so, anyways, this is where we're moving forward to. You feel me? And so when we get lighter and we get more, we're going to be drawing more energy, right? Because that's what melanin does. It takes in consciousness. And so when you deal with your heart, your subconscious mind, you can write your reality down over and over, because our subconscious mind is being fucked over by Babylon. You turn on the television, they're giving you what, they fucking up your subconscious mind. You standing near this fuck nigga right here, over there, or this chick, whatever, and their mind is all fucked up. You pulling in their energy. You pulling just by standing next to them, and their mind is all messed up. You pulling in their thoughts, and then you go on. Then you thinking it's you. And then you making decision off of thoughts from the next person just standing next to you. You might be on the train or something, or in a cab, and you taking on the cab driver's fucking fucked up energy, and you start thinking, and you think it's you, and you start reacting off of that thought. So they certain things that you can do not to pull that energy in, like cross your legs, you close up your electromagnetic field, so you won't have to pull in that energy. That's things you could do. You cross your legs or you cross your arms, and you shut you closing off your aura, and you locking it up, so that way you don't have to pull in somebody's messed up energy. That's a little tip when you're around all that fucked up energy, and you don't want to pull it into your subconscious mind. Go ahead and cross your legs or cross your arms. Right? Boom. Now, when energy wants to flow through. This consciousness want to flow through you, man. And at certain times, I get in the middle of the night, or anything I would have my mind on, it explains it to me. And I'm like, oh shit! I had to start writing this shit down, and I couldn't move because if I wake up to get my phone or to write it down, man, that thought just disappeared like boop and was gone. And I was like, oh wow! I just knew everything for a minute, for 3 seconds. I understood, and so now it's starting to stick a little longer. And so by focusing, right, I'm gonna tell you a little trick on focusing. Right, a lot of people be, oh, you gotta focus, oh, you gotta focus, but they don't tell you freaking how to freaking focus. You gotta focus. There's a time you gotta focus. How you focus then? Who is saying how to focus? Ain't nobody telling nobody how to focus. Oh, how you supposed to get out of Babylon? Oh, you gotta focus. Just focus. I'm like, yeah, okay. Tell me how to focus. What kind of focus? I'm gonna tell you what helped me. It might help you, right? A lot of us, we do exercises like we lift weights, right? Boom, everybody, they running, they go jogging, they doing everything for their external body, but they don't exercise the mind. So I may share something with you that can help you focus and do exercise for your mind. This information been out for a little bit. You know, it ain't. You know, I'm not one who say, yeah, this is the first time you're going to hear this. You know, there's nothing new under the sun. Oh, I pulled it from the ether. I pulled this information from the ether. Yeah, you did pull it from the ether because when I speak, right, I'm ether, and when I speak, the sound waves, which is ether, goes into the phone and comes out on the other end, and it goes into your ear, so you receive it from the ether. So when these people talk about, oh, I get my information from the ether, yeah, from my mouth. That's where you get it from, because I'm ether. And so when you hear me speak, it goes into your ear, right? Sound goes through the air, through the ether, and it vibrates in your ear, and you get it. So yeah, you do get it from the ether. So we all get information from the ether. That's the case, right? So let me go ahead and and tell you what I was telling you, because you have people like that, man. They think they're the source of all information, and we all got a part of the information, right? So this is what it is. You can either do it before you wake up in the morning or before you go to sleep. What I do is I light up a candle, right? And I sit it up, I prop it up, I sit with my spinal cord, your nervous system, on a straight back chair, right? And you sit up, straight back chair. You light this candle up, probably about 2 feet away from you. Make sure it's lit directly with your third eye. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna stare at this candle. You're gonna stare at it for maybe about 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes, right? So you just stare at it, see how it moves. I be trying to make it move, like I be trying to make it bend with my mind. I get to that part, right? And I'm like, because if everything is coming out, it's being projected from my mind, I should be able to make it a bend. I should be able to bend it, and sometimes it happens. But anyway, right? You stare at it, and then after 2 minutes or 3 minutes, you blow. You can do it 2 or 3 times. You blow it out, and then you close your eyes, right? And then you should see the image of the flame in your mind. And you're supposed to hold it as long as you can. It's going to try to go away on you, but you're going to hold it and bring it right back and hold that flame in your mind. And you hold it there as long as you can. It's going to try to disappear. It's going to disappear. No, with the mind, you're going to bring it right back. That's called a mental exercise. That's how you exercise your mind. That's how you focus. And you do this, and you're going to see your mind is going to be focused a lot a lot. Like you're gonna see the difference on how your mind it receives information and it holds information, and you start putting things together. And but let me tell you one thing. And when it goes away and it just disappears, you're gonna be already in an alpha theta state. You know what's an alpha theta state? A alpha theta state is, this is the jewel right here, right? I'm giving you a jewel, and I expect you to exercise this and use it, right? And you know what? And it's free. A lot of things that come free, people don't respect it. You know why? Because they got it free, you know. But this is gonna help you. You want to get out of Babylon. This is gonna help you focus to get out of Babylon. All right, you with me? You with me? Because nobody ain't telling you this. They tell you everything else, but they don't show you. They don't show you how. And I'm gonna put some more information to this on my post. I'll be putting it under the bulletin 1, bulletin 2, bulletin 3. You know, because it all goes together. That's why I put it on the bulletins. Because I was like, you know what? It all goes together, right? And it is all information on the subconscious mind, where I received this from Thoth, right? Thoth is Melchizedek. It's the consciousness, the being that dwells under the heart seat. It's a green energy, a green light. Right? That's how you're gonna direct your subconscious mind. That's why when they go into nature, everything is green. You follow? That's what they mean by going green, because that's the frequency. Green is a frequency, is in the middle, right? Is where mind, where man and mind meet. That's why the heart seat is where all the information comes in from, right? That's where we was created, on that plane. Follow? Thoth. That's where they get the word thought from, Thoth. Egyptians called it Thoth. In Arabic, they called it Melchizedek. In ancient Babylon, they called it Murdoch. You got me? The Hebrews called it Malachi. That's why the scroll of Malachi, it tells you, if you read it on chapter 4, verse 2, it's not a big book. If you check it out, it tells you how the son is going to be the justice. The son of justice. They called him the son of justice. But the son is wrote S-U-N. Right? S-U-N, not S-O-N. Because the sun is going to be the justice during that time, where if you're not in tune with the planet, the sun is going to burn you. You follow? If you're not in tune during the sun cycle, the sun is going to burn you. You're going to get dis-ease because you're not in tune, because you're eating something you ain't supposed to be eating. And I'm guilty. But I'm working on it, and I've been better and better. I learned a lot how to eat with Nature Boy, you know, on a lot of things. In you know, so how, you know, we transition foods to transition slowly but surely off of all the BS that we eating. So it ain't like I ain't learned that from them. I learned a lot from dude, you know, and I'm grateful. You know what I'm saying? So, where was I, right? So we get into the heart of the matter, right? And if you notice, let's say the planet, right? Because your heart is your subconscious mind, and your subconscious mind is what we need to get. We need to get to, because when you're in that alpha theta state, you're not asleep and you're not really awake. It's that dream state that, I wasn't really sleeping, but I wasn't really awake. That's when I get all if I go to sleep with something on my mind, you know, right before the sun comes up, it usually hits me, and it explains it so clear of whatever I had on my mind that I wanted to know. And usually this alpha theta state that you go into in a meditation, you don't have to do it with a candle. I'm just telling you what helped me, right? Some other people have other ways of getting into the alpha theta state, right? So once you're in that state, that's when you reprogram your subconscious mind. You say it over and over again when you're in that state, and your subconscious mind got no choice but to play it out. And or you attract you attract yourselves that could assist you in what you've been programming your subconscious mind with, the other parts of yourself, and you become like an electromagnetic force field. You got me? And there's more. However, the 4 elements is needed for this to happen effectively. And we're not getting the 4 elements in the northern hemisphere or too far in the southern hemisphere. You get it at the equator. That's the whole deal. That's what your mind, those are the elements your mind needs. The 4 major elements so it can activate the 5th, the ether. That which you are. So they keep us away from the equator, and then they hit us with the chemtrails and the fluoride water and the salt, man. Watch your salt. Don't even fuck with salt. I just got the download on that from Creative Rasta La Rasta. She hit me with the salt. She was like, yo, the salt is the killer. You thought meat was the killer? It's the salt. Try to eat your food without putting salt on it. And tell me if you like it. Then you find out that salt is a soft metal. And it's reactive. People be going off the chain with salt in their blood. Because when salt hits water, it reacts. It almost explodes. Go YouTube it. YouTube salt. Salt explosions or whatever. You have three forms of salt. So even to all the health gurus in the world, you're still eating salt. Dang. I'm like, woo. She hit me with that download. I was like, yo, I gotta tell that. She's like, I've been saying it for a while, but nobody wanna listen to me. And I'm like, what? I looked it up. I was like, oh shit, she right. Salt is how they got us fucked up. We get our salt naturally from the food that we eat. You know, that's naturally. Salt is like a crystal metal type shit. And we eating that shit. But that's something else. So we need these 4 major elements, right? 4 major elements to have that subconscious mind working at its optimal. And they call that the 4th plane or the mental plane. It depends what school of thought. I came from a different school of thought, and we call certain things, you know, they call it here the heart is the nucleus, is the DNA, the nucleus. I came up with, you know, the heart is actually the 4th, the mental plane. Right? It's the 4th, is where mind and man and mind meet, is where we was created on that etheric plane as thought. So, you have different schools of thought. It's not even school of thought. It's just different schools of thought. It's just how people express themselves. Some people take this information and they go express it a different way, and they could confuse people. And so that's why I be like Thoth, Melchizedek, Angel Michael, Murdoch, or same beings throughout the times. And you have in your heart, which emanates your aura, which you can learn how to pull in that ether that's out. They call it prana. That's what they call it. They call it prana. They call it prana, and then they call it chi as well, because it sits on right above the root seat. The chi, they call it the plane of force, right? That's why it's this same energy, the same plane of force that holds everything together. Is what makes the seasons happen, right? That's why you have summer. That's like that's what makes the sun appear. It comes up every morning and it goes down. Really, the sun don't move, but right. That's what makes it go up and go down. You know, faithfully is the plane of force. If this wasn't true, then that wouldn't happen. The sun will go up for 5 hours and then go back down or whatever. No, or appears that way. We'll rotate a little faster or slower. No, we on a cycle. It's like a clock. That's why they call astrology the true time, right? Or real time, as they want to call it, right? So it's like that, man. And so I had to get that out my chest. 'Cause I was like, yo, you're going to be using this. Y'all better use it to get out of Babylon. Go ahead and do that mental exercise, and then when you get into that alpha theta state, see yourself getting out of Babylon, and then you're going to find out that, pieces just going to come together. Somebody going to run into you, be like, yeah, I'm leaving too. Yo, but I got another, I'm driving now. I got another seat. I mean, if you want to come, and next thing you know, it works like that. You know what I'm saying? Another one of yourselves is just going to come, but you got to talk. Don't be trying to, you in a crowd full of people and you staying quiet and just be like, oh, I'm waiting on this to happen. Nah, you gotta use that throat chakra. You're gonna have to talk about what you going with, where you going, what you're doing, and then somebody's like, yeah, I was thinking about the same thing. Oh man, boom, it's gonna happen like that. But if you stay quiet, you just might miss it. You might miss that boat. So don't be afraid to be outgoing. You got those people with a water sign in their Mercury. They don't do a lot of talking. They quiet a lot. Man, you're gonna have a rough time. If you don't start opening, talking up that mind, and talking and using that throat chakra. Your throat chakra is connected to your mental, to your pineal gland. You better use that shit. Seesaw ain't good neither, man. No seesaw. It ain't. No, salt is always trying to get back to water. It's trying to get back to water. So you eat salt, it's gonna suck up all your water, be all dehydrated and shit. And you need your water to flow throughout your system, right? But you put salt in it, the salt is gonna suck all the water up and shit, and then you're gonna be clogged up. Well, your energy ain't gonna flow through. You're gonna try to manifest. You're gonna try to use your subconscious mind, and you don't got no energy flowing. Your blood is your consciousness, and it flows through your body, goes up to your heart, and your heart charges it up, because of the oxygen, and it all happens over there. Because you're the universe too. That's why you breathe in through your nose. Your nose is the vacuum. You breathe in that energy. Is a vacuum, goes in. Your solar plexus is the sun. Your chakras is the planets. However, the planets are electrical. Is electrically charged. Is a negative charge, and the core, your center, is the positive charge. Right, and we can actually reverse. It's called polarization. Polarizing the third eye, which I'll go into later. Just work on strengthening your mind with that exercise. And then you let me know how it works. Do it every, before you get up in the morning, before the sun comes up, go ahead, or before you go to bed, go ahead and and exercise your mind. That's how you exercise. That's weightlifting for your mind. Everybody's running around jogging. Everybody's doing sit-ups and push-ups, but they don't exercise their mind. Right now, they playing PlayStation right now. They ain't even, people don't want to read no more and shit. We used to read, man. I came up reading. We didn't have no internet. We didn't have no internet. I had to read a book. Now motherfuckers be like, oh, you read a book, man? Oh, yeah, I read a book. That's how I came up, motherfucker. I ain't come up in there. I ain't no internet, baby. I ain't come up with the internet in my pocket. So, but shit, I got some old, there's information out there that ain't on the internet. You have motherfuckers that they be on the internet day and night trying to find pieces to the puzzle, saying everybody's mind is connected to the, no, everybody's mind is not connected to the internet. There's some sacred information that's not on the internet. And you ain't gonna get that. Never mind. I ain't gonna even talk about that right now. All information is not on the internet. You know why? Because you got sacred information. And you got the same people that when they get this information, they use it against us, like the cancer cells. We gave them 3 degrees and they flipped that shit on us and built a whole simulated environment and got us powering it. And I put something on my page, man, the other day. I put shit on my page. I was like, yeah, man, you didn't manifest shit. Everybody talk about manifesting. I didn't even mean it like that, but everybody got pissed off. I was like, shit, damn. What I meant was, we came up on the education system, right? So they already been programming our subconscious mind already with television, with commercial ads, with all this other bullshit. We go to school for 20 years before you hit the world. You've damn programmed. So you manifesting a program that they already installed in you. You follow? That's what I was trying to get to. But you know, sometimes you can't write that shit. You know, sometimes you be trying to write and shit. And you just can't. They can't get the emotions with that. Emojis don't be working that well. Motherfuckers be like, "What the fuck he mean? I manifested all fucking day. I manifest." I was like, "Yeah, we manifest every day, but we've been programmed already, and so we've been manifesting the program." Like this one chick said, "Oh, I manifested some money. I manifested $20, and I manifested a washer." In my dryer. I'm like, man, if you can manifest, that's all you manifested? I'm like, man, if I can manifest, shit, man. And I was like, that's it, $20 in the wash and the dryer? I was like, that's it. But, you know, I couldn't say that shit, right? Because, you know, they'd be like, oh, this motherfucker right here. And so, but I just wanted to share that information with y'all. I know I came in on planetary alignments. So that happens. We got another one happen. It's going to happen up into 2021, something like that. And there's going to be like at least 4 planets that's going to be aligning, and so you're going to have natural disasters. And when you have the polar of the sun on the planet that's on the 23rd degree axis, because a meteorite, it ain't even a meteorite, but I'm gonna say the meteorite hit the planet millions of years ago, and it caused your Grand Canyon. And that's actually where your moon came from. It was a part of the earth, right? If you let the ancient Sumerians tell the story, right? And so we tilted on the 23rd degree axis because melanated beings, because 9 ether was responsible for this accident, right? We became caretakers of this solar system. You follow? To keep it balanced. Because this solar system was not balanced. So we built pyramids in certain parts of this earth, of this mind, so we could be balanced, because this universe is intertwined with the next one, with the next galaxies and universes are intertwined. So if this one happens to have a star holocaust because the earth is off balance, and when the planetary alignment happens, you can have a star holocaust and all the planets get sucked back into the sun, and that'll be a chain reaction happen to the next galaxy and the next one and the next one, and it is a big fuck fest. So we were responsible. So we built pyramids, not just some idiot said we built it because the lower self built it because they couldn't communicate. Nah, motherfucker, we built that shit, right? Because we were out of balance. We was off balance. We on a 23rd degree axis. That's why you're right-handed or you're left-handed. You favor one hand more than the other. It's gravity, man. You know what I'm saying? It's called gravity. That's why you got one eye bigger than the other. Shit, I got one titty bigger than the other, motherfucker. And, you know, you be like, yo, yeah, you do got one eye bigger than the other. Oh, you do got one titty bigger than the other. Yeah, because it's called gravity, and we tilted on the 23rd degree axis. So we had to build pyramids because pyramids refocus light. And yes, you are a pyramid. And yes, you're supposed to be at 23 degrees away from the center of the sun, from the center of the earth, so you can receive this consciousness and wake up, and them ancient G's will wake up. How I know this information? I woke up, man, and it was like boom, it made sense. That's how it is, man. You know, so I hope you learned something. I hope you go ahead and apply that, and when you apply it, I hope you don't apply it to Babylon, because there's more to it. And I ain't tell you all of it. I just told you something that's going to help you. But there's more to that shit. And you should be over here to get the rest, because you're going to get it from mouth to ear. You ain't going to get it on the internet. Because the real ones that hold the secret ain't going to tell this shit on the internet. So when you earn your way to it, right, then you get the rest of the information. So there you have it. Bam. You got any questions, you let me know. We opened up a space here, man. We opened up the gates, man. And we was like, yo, we got room for we got room for people. You know, we got room for people who want to get in tune. We got the room. You know what? How I did it, I used that exercise that I just told you. But there's more to it. But that's part of it. That's going to help you. Learn, get that shit down pat. Focus. Do it. Focus. Focus, man. And you're going to see how that shit is going to do wonders. Just that exercise alone. But there's more. And it has to do with the green light. It has to do with with Thoth, Melchizedek, who's the ruler of that realm, of the heart. Right? When I say ruler, I mean ruler. Ruler is a measurement of light. All right? Not ruler like how you might think of it. A ruler is a measurement of light. You follow me? That's how I mean it when I say it. Don't forget that, because I'm gonna do a lot. I'm gonna be posting a lot more stuff. And when I say ruler, you're gonna know what I'm talking about when I say ruler. It means ruler is a measurement of light. I'm gonna talk about pyramids as well. Remember the king's chamber and the queen's chamber and the emerald. Right? So when I say that, you already know what I'm talking about. All right? I love myself. And when you want to leave, we got somewhere to go. And we working on it where we have our own food source, our own food supply. I think that's key. Ain't nobody can control us and say you don't belong here because you're eating too much or you're eating too little or you know what? Oh, you know what I'm saying? The lower self controls people's movement by food. That's how they do it. And to get the food, the energy, you got to work to get paper, cotton and linen. That's the trick. They took everybody away from growing their own food, and they built a society where an industrialized society where you gotta work for cotton and linen to buy your food and your shelter. We got shelter. We could make shelter. We're gonna be making shelter from the red dirt of the earth, and it's an adobe earth home. It is grounded, and you know you could be in it. You could use it. You could use it as you know, if it rains too much, you could be out in your tent. You want to get in, you can get in, and we got enough space. And Kamal, man, he you know. He stepped in, man, and he's making this shit happen, man. And he's in the room right there. You know, y'all could go ahead and y'all follow Kamal. Kamal is a true angelic being right there, man. So I gotta tip my hat to him. I gotta tip my hat to Gabrielle Merrill. I gotta tip my hat to Ashley Cologne. I gotta tip my hat to Rebecca Cologne Hendricks. I gotta tip my hat to Creative Rasta La Rasta. She hit me with the sodium chloride download, which is salt. You know, and so I'm on that now. So I'm gonna take salt out my diet. You know, and it's gonna be slowly but surely. But we have to be ready. I hit you with that download. Use that exercise for your subconscious mind, for your mind. And you already know what to do with the alpha theta state. You already know what that is. And you're going to see how that works. But I want it, when you apply it, I want you to be like, yo, thanks, Phoenix. Yo, it worked for me. Or you could tell me, hey, man, that shit didn't work for me. You know, but all I can tell you is what worked for me. You know what I'm saying? And you and me. So it has to work for you. You know what I mean? So, you know what? Boom. Hey, look, we doing some more planning tomorrow, man. We doing our thing out here, man. You know, when you're ready, come up. The gates are still open. We don't know how many we could hold, but we're gonna hold as many as we can, and we're gonna hold you down. Yo, Kamal, deuces, man. And you know what? I'll talk to you later. Peace out, fam. Irie. Peace. Hey, go ahead and share if you can. Go ahead and share if you can. Cause ain't no one telling you this right here. Go ahead and hit that share. They ain't dropping it. They ain't dropping it like this. I've been holding this one in just for this time. So there you go. You got it now. Peace out.